like that. I quite like it indeed. How are you doing, guys? I'm back. Why not? Let's do something, let's make something. So like always, I have a gas bottle. I rescued this one. Someone's been, I don't know, welding a pipe to it, making a slit in it. Not too sure what they were planning to do, probably some sort of burner. But for me, I don't want to make a burner. Got a gas bottle, make a burner. Very basic. Don't want to be basic. Want to make a helmet, like always. I make a lot of helmets. This time it's going to be different. I want to make a helmet that I can wear. Because I've got this big Spartan helmet, which is about this big. Can't wear it. I've got a Lich King mask, looks great on the wall. Can't wear it. I've still got the Weld helmet, 2 seconds. It is nigh on in the same condition as you last saw it. I've added decorative welds. I can't remember if that was on. I've welded the word weld across the front of it. I definitely don't think that was on. It's all made up, it's ready, it's great. I still haven't put the glass in the faceplate, which is in the shed somewhere, I think. I hope it's in the shed somewhere. I may come back to finish it, I probably do. I always like to finish my projects. I'll get rid of this. But I don't want to make a welding helmet. I've got welding helmets, you know. I've got a good welding helmet. I've just ordered a new Via screen for it because my last one fudged up a bit on us during a job. Got a little bit of burn. I couldn't see my fingers when I held them like this, but it is what it is. It's the dangers of working with big arcs of electricity. So I want to make this into a helmet for us to wear. Now, I don't know if you know this, but I am quite into the Post Apocalyptic genre. You can probably see from my shed, it looks like it has survived an apocalypse. It has. I built it. I use it. That's kind of an apocalypse, you know, world-ending event. But I'm really into it, so I'm going to start off with a simple helmet shape. I've got this gas bottle, which is about 41 inches. And I've got a head, which I've already measured, which is 25 inches. So obviously I can't just cut a section off, whack it on my head, call it a helmet. I mean, I could, but that's not. What's the point? So I want to make a helmet. So I like the post-apocalypse. I'm going to start. Make something a bit more traditional. I think I'm going to go along the lines of a Spangen helm to start with. Get that flushed out, get that made. I'm going to leave a bit of a gap so that if something hits us in the head, it's not just going to be steel direct to the skull like they actually used to. And I think they'll be alright. And then I want to add things. I might try and make some horns or antlers, or I have absolutely no idea. Maybe I'll do an ice cream cone to stick out the top of it. I don't know. I could do anything. I've got steel, I've got tools, I've got me. Let's make something. So one of the things about post-apocalypse that I really enjoy is you can do anything. Absolutely anything. There's no fashion police, there's no set rules, there's no anything. Yeah, generally speaking, post-apocalypse, the world as we know it has ended in some way or another. It doesn't even have to be our world has ended, but whatever world you're on, whatever time you're in, it's ended. Society's broke down, government's broke down, the food network is broke down, you're on your own. Maybe there was an atomic bomb, maybe there was a zombie outbreak, maybe there was a plague like coronavirus that killed absolutely 99% of the planet and there's only 1% left and you're left and you've got to do it. Whatever, you've got to do something, right? Most of them that I imagine, most of the ones that I subscribe to, the ideas that I like, there's no electric. The street lights aren't on, you're walking around, you can't see, dark. I don't know where it is, Mad Max, you're in the middle of what used to be an ocean, there's no water left, that's how the world ended. I don't know how Mad Max occurred, Fallout, universe, you've got Borderlands, you've got all of these zombie apocalypse situations, so many to list, yeah. But in a world where there's no street lights, Captain Lampboy, he's going to be some sort of superstar, and he walks around, he's got a big lamp on his head, yeah. Captain Lampboy's got a good idea. Obviously, I'm not going to be sticking a lamp to my head, But you get the idea. I use absolutely anything. This has survived in my garden. I don't actually remember taking it out of a box and leaving it in the bush, but apparently I did. So it's got a little bit rusty. It's still working. I haven't tested it. Everything that actually needs to work is clean enough. So yeah, I think I do actually have some fuel for one in the old shed there of death. I might give it a try, but it's not going on my head. I don't know what's going on my head, but something's going on my head, and I don't know if I want to be a unicorn or a rhino or some sort of weird deer with too many antlers, or some sort of weird deer with no, like, what's the point of being a weird deer with no antlers when I want to put something on the helmet? But I might get real horns, I might use wood, I might use bone, I might use steel, I might use anything. What will I find? What will I find that'll look good on a helmet to make it cool? I'll find out. Don't mind me, just measuring parts of me head. That's about right, about 7 inches. Yeah, 7 inches, then I want to bring it up, so we're at about, what, 8 inches. Who knew? When you want an inch clearance and you've got a 7-inch head, that it's 8 inches. I didn't. I do now. So what I've decided to do is I've got my tape measure out. I'm putting it just right up against the lip of this centre ring. I know that that's thick, I know that it's horrible, I don't want to be using it. I obviously don't want little tight heavy bundles right at the peak of my helmet, because I think it's going to have a bit of a peak. So I'm just marking it off from that ring down to 8 inches, just all the way around. Once that's all marked off, I'll connect them up, I'll have myself a nice line. I'll get the little angle grinder out and I'll just work my way around, cut it out, and then I'll be able to cut these nice triangles out of it. I don't want it to be this weird dome. It's just not going to be nice for us. It would be easier, which easy is very post-apocalyptic in the idea of the less work you've got to put into it. Well, that's it, the less work you've got to put into it to have a helmet. But I don't like that idea. I want to start, as I say, I want to start with something more traditional. Maybe they found a plastic one in a convenience store if it's in America, which most of them are. And they recreated it out of steel. So I don't necessarily want this to show that it's been made out of a gas bottle. If it does, I won't be too tragically upset, because, you know, it's the apocalypse. But what I do know is this stuff is 2mm thick steel. So it's enough that even with a medium-sized hammer, give it a whack. Sorry if I don't remove that ding. It doesn't dent. It seems like enough, you know. I don't imagine that I'm going to have many people with armour piercing swords. I don't imagine that in England I'm going to have too many people with armour piercing rounds. It's 2mm thick's thick enough. If someone wants to hit me in the head with a hammer and it doesn't hurt, I'm winning, you know. That's generally the rule, is just not can this stop absolutely everything, but can it stop what I expect people to have. And I'm assuming, I'm up in Northumberland, that if there was an apocalypse, not much would change. There'd be no electric, so you'd have all the council moms crying that they can't put CBeebies on for the kids, and you'd have a lot of people starving to death. But we've already got people that walk around looking like zombies. Not much is changing, you know. I don't think everyone's all of a sudden going to have some big armour piercing melt to get through my helmet. I think me, you know, being me, already having a lot of this stuff, already having a wide array of weaponry in the form of axes and tools, is going to struggle too much, you know. I know how to grow my own food. I have my own livestock. I can make stuff, you know. I know how to do this. That'd be good. Commodity. This is what this is. This is not a paid promotion. This is just me saying that if there is an apocalypse and you are in Northumberland, the last thing I will do is post my location. Maybe. Come and get us. I'm a blacksmith. You need a blacksmith. You know why you need a blacksmith? Because there's no welding available. Let's get a blacksmith to do it. Be great. I'll be like the upper echelon. I'll be the higher elite. Best job ain't being a banker in the apocalypse. It's being a blacksmith. It doesn't matter how great you are on computers. I'm great on computers. It's not going to be useful in the apocalypse. Blacksmithing. Come see Uncle Dan. Be great. You know the worst thing about using this joke is it doesn't work on wet steel. It'll work on hot steel, it'll work on dry steel, it'll work on cold steel, it'll work on every type of steel other than wet steel. And I'm working in a back garden, and I had to break the ice off this table with an axe when I got here, so it's wet. So I've got 99% of my line drawn out on this stupid thing, except where there's water, and a lot of it's got water on. But 99% might be being kind, but who cares? I won't cut it out. So my shed's got a leak. So I've got this cutting disc, and it's all wet. I don't like wet cutting discs, they go boom. It's a bad idea to use a wet cutting disc, so I'm looking around and I'm thinking, I don't have many cutting discs. Do I use this wet one and risk hurting this beautiful face that you see before you? Then I've got these little leftover bits. Do I use these little leftover bits? And I've hunted through that shed and there is no other cutting discs. So I'm thinking this is dead in the water. I've made a bit of an intro, I've had a little chat, I've given a bit of crack about what I'm doing, making a helmet, and it's all bad. So I've got all these little bits, and maybe I'll be able to get 2 centimeters of this cut out with these little bits, you know. Guess who's got a big pile of them in his grinder box? It's gold. It's gold. I love it. I love it. Why didn't I look in the grinder box first? Of course they're going to be in there. That's a slap for them. I do believe it's time to cut. Now I don't want people to worry. I'm not actually this poor. I mean, I was that day. I did need to duct tape up my gloves because I didn't have a spare set. I have a brand new set in the shed, literally 3 foot away from where I'm working. But honestly, my fiancée got us them and she drew all over them and they look absolutely brilliant. I mean, I drew all over this and look at it. I don't know if you can make out what it is anymore because, you know, you've got the head. You can see the head, you can see the logo, you can see it all, but it's hard to see because you get it dirty, you can't see it anymore, and I love them. I will use them, but only once these actually fail us, which they did fail us that day, clearly. They're duct taped up, but I can live with it. But it is time to cut. God, it's been at least 4 days since I last had a grinder in my hand. Should be the last disc. So I'm going to grind all this off. Get it down nice and flat, smooth. Get rid of all the burrs that will chop my fingers off. Should be good. There's something satisfying about working on something circular where you just gotta spin the workpiece and apply the pressure. It's beautiful. It's like a mama used to make the spaghetti. I need to get this down to wearable size. So as I am a very smart man with my woolly hat, I measured my head to find out I'm at 25 inches. I want an inch gap. Do I want an inch gap? How big's the gap? I feel like I should Google this thing, but I'm not going to. 27 going to be too big? It's got a bit of a gap. You know, that's still snug though, that's not going to be much impact prevention. How big's 30? 30's going to be ridiculous, isn't it? How do you figure these things out? I mean, I'm making a video for YouTube, which clearly means I have the internet at my disposal. That's 30, that's ridiculous. I don't need that much of a gap. So I'm at 25, I'm going to give myself 3 inches. A lot like a few of the guys that I know. I'm not saying, not bragging, but I'm 29 years old. And last year, 2020, was the first year in my memory that I have not seen another man's penis from New Year to New Year. I made it through 2020. No penises in my vision range. Yeah. Do you know that once there's a guy called Hayden? I don't mind shaming. I don't mind shaming Hayden. He was up from down south somewhere. He was visiting the pub. New Year's Eve. I'm going with 2018, 2019. I think it was 2018. I made it all the way through 2018. 364 days I made it through 2018 without seeing another man's penis. And you know what happened? He got it out on New Year's Eve. Literally. I tried to look away, but I seen it. Ruined. 2020. The year of my penis was the only one I looked at for an entire year. No one decided that it was time to get it out and show Uncle Dan that penis. So yeah. Totally unrelated to the 3-inch rule, you know. I'm not shaming anybody here, but penis free 28-inch helmet. Let's do it. So I don't know if you know this, but I'm really good at maths. Yeah, maths. MAFFS. Got nothing to do with mathematics. It's 28 inches, obviously. Half of it's 14. Half of that's 7. So I'm making this helmet out of 4 plates. So I need 7-inch plates. Mathematics. I don't know whether to risk just cutting 7-inch plates and not leaving myself any room for error. It seems a very me thing to do. And it's usually where it goes wrong, and I don't end up with a 28-inch helmet. I end up with 25 that doesn't fit. Just fits and hits. But go and do 7-inch plates, because it's risky. And I like risk. So I'm going to do it. Yeah. So I'm going to mark off 7-inch sections of this this piece of steel here. And we're going to do it. I think it's going to be great. Yeah. So I'll mark those off and then we'll let them cut out. So, welcome to my crotch area. This is the wet part, where I lean against the bench and I do my little dance. And that's only as I ever work, you know. So I've got my bit of chalk, and I'm just going to draw this nice line, call that centre. It doesn't matter, no one cares. Hat on. Let's start against one of these so I haven't got to grind them all off. So in my book, that is a perfectly straight line. It's how engineers do it. Didn't you know? You just get a bit of chalk and draw a line. So this is centre. Yeah. Now I've got to find my tape measure, because it runs away. I'm going to put this out on the 7-inch line, bringing it round. I'm going to put it on the 8-inch line, because I'm smart. I'm going to mark it off at 1 inch so that I've got a 7-inch gap. Is that even straight? I don't know. Let's do it. Who cares? It's the apocalypse. That's a terrible way to look at things, but it's how I'm having to do it. Yeah. So apparently this gap, I don't know if you can see my lines. I've got this line here, and I've got this line here. This gap is 7 inches. That's 1/4 of my head. That's unbelievable. Look at it. That's 1/4 of my head. Well, 1/4 and a bit if I'm giving myself space. So I'm going to mark these out. Bring it on up. Now I want it to end here. Yeah? So I think I'm going to save myself this band area here. and just bring it up from there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that. I'm going to cut that, and I'm going to replicate it 4 times, weld them together after giving them a bit of a beat around all the sort of anvil shaped objects I have. I don't like bending down like this, you know, it's bad on my back, but I can spin. Fun. Lockdown, I am not human anymore. I am not a responsible adult anymore. I get left in charge of a child sometimes now, you know. Please, if you're watching this, babe, don't worry. Like, I'm not going to let her do these sort of crazy things. It's just me. I've got a bit of freedom and I want to do something fun. But I'm going to cut 4 of these out. I'm cut one of them out, use it as a stencil, get 4 exactly the same, give them a whack, give them a shape, get a weld up them, and I should have something resembling a helmet. It's just the starting section, but it's a section. Let's do it. So there we have it. I've got my 4 panels cut out. And look at this thing. That's interesting. I like it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I might never do anything with it. But I like it. I might just cut the other 2 out. I don't know if it's the right size to get 5 perfect. Another 2 perfectly out of it to make these 5 leaves. But that's cool, man. That's pretty cool. I like it. I really do. Wrap that around a nice glass bowl, make it a lampshade. Boom! Winning. Get rid of this. So what I've got left is my 4 plates. I think that's the original there. Yeah. And I made these other 4. These other 3 even. And that's going to be my helmet. So right now they don't quite stack up. Right. But they will. Because I've got a hammer and a can-do attitude. So right now, let's give this tripod a whirl. That's the helmet. But I want to bring all these points up to being central. Instead of looking like this, get myself a nice helmet. So there we go. We've got the 4 planks. Going to bring them out. I've got myself a nice bit of steel out of the shed there. Got my little V in for Captain Vlad. And I'm going to draw it out. I'm going to bring it up. Get that point in. Hopefully get it done today. Once that's in, I'll be able to get a weld on the top, weld down the sides, bring it up, no weld on the top. Top's last. I forgot about that. I forgot all about it. Look at the mess. Look at the mess. Lockdown, man. I can't even get a scrap man to take me scrap away. Yeah. So, the old super drill isn't getting used today, but it should be very soon. Because I'm thinking, once I've got this helmet put together, once the helmet's together, I'm going to want to put a band all the way around and rivet it on. I might put a band up the seams and rivet it on, at which point it would be a possible spanking helm. I mean, I'd have to put spanking in and add a bit of a nose guard, bit of a T-piece, easy enough. And this could be a helmet. If I turn this into a decent looking, respectably believable period piece helmet, Martin, you're getting a helmet, mate. If not, the apocalypse awaits. So I've had a real tough time. A lot of my tools have been at work. So this is what I'm using for tongs right now, and it wasn't actually assembled. This is a brake off a bicycle. I don't have a nut and bolt. I do have some tongs. I've brought them down from work. They're at my fiance's house, who I'm bubbled with. Once I get those over, it'll be a lot easier. I'm using these. They're slipping, they're not gripping, they're not very good. The bolt isn't holding them tight enough. I've got another pair that'll work. I've got some rivet tongues, and I've got some tongues that were made for 10mm flat plate. They should do. I do believe they come together enough that I'll be able to grip this 2mm stock. And it'll just be such an easier time. I tried just holding it, I nearly broke my fingers. I'll wait till I've got the actual tools. I'm going to wrap it for today. I'll come back another day, finish these other 3 off, find the optimal curve, get them all hammered out to the right size, planish them off a bit. Maybe it's Apocalypse, I don't need it to look smooth. And yeah, big closer to having a nice new helmet.